I don't know how to, I'm probably not good enough to go through this one properly, but I'm going to try anyway. Uh, Trump sent a bunch of gang members from Venezuela that were illegally in the country to a very horrible prison in El Salvador. El Salvador said, yeah, we'll take these people, and if you pay us a whole bunch of money, which we've had to do. They've taken these prisoners. This thing, gang members. What determines a gang member? Well, do tattoos? Trump administration actually believes that's true. I've known people that were gang members and had tattoos all over them, but had left the gangs, weren't there anymore. So this isn't going to work for me. So yeah, that's pretty terrible. This was just a sweep of a whole bunch of people, and some of them were gang members, some of them were just people that just happened to be there. All of a sudden, their freedom has been taken away. Now, they're here illegally. I think that's pretty much it. But that's an administrative issue. That's not a criminal issue. If you have these quote gang members and you believe they have violated our laws, then you need to adjudicate them. That means you take them to a court of law. The reason we don't just summarily execute people just because we think they're bad is that's what we got courts for. Well, we don't have time for all the courts. You always have time for courts. Always. Look at this video of these people being sent down there. Are they all just gang members? Are they all just bad guys? Well, Stephen Miller thinks they are. He had a back and forth with Casey Hunt on CNN, and he's a good fast talker. He's full of crazy ideas, but he's a good fast talker. And he said that's an invasion.
To give the president the authority to repel an alien invasion of the United States. That is not something that a district court judge has any authority whatsoever to interfere with, to enjoin, to restrict, or to restrain any way. You can read the law yourself. Well, so first of all, there's a term in law, justiciable. This is not justiciable. In other words, this is not subject to judicial remedy.
Judiciable. I don't know if that's a real word or not. He may be a lawyer, I don't know. I'm certainly not a lawyer, but judiciable. What he's saying is you can't go through the courts for this because these are foreign invaders. That's a real stretch. Gang members have come here to destroy our country? Okay, let's look a little more.
There's not one clause in that law that makes it subject to judicial review, let alone district court review.
So, Stephen, when you say that this person has no authority at all, this is how our system works. It starts with these judges and then continues up. At what point does it become, in your view, legal for the justice system to be looking at this and making a judgment? And I fail to see how there's any other way but to start with where we're starting here before you get to eventually the Supreme Court.
When the president is exercising his Article 2 powers to defend the country against an invasion or to repel a foreign terrorist that is unlawfully in the country, he's exercising his core Article 2 powers as commander-in-chief.
Is Venezuela invading the U.S.?
This is a very important point. This is a Title 50 authority. It's a commander-in-chief authority. So just to ask you a simple question, you talk about how the system works. Does a district court judge have the right to direct or enjoin troop movements overseas? Yes or no?
Well, I can't say for sure, but I know Congress can. They have. They stopped Nixon from going into Cambodia. That was troop movements. I'm sure there are courts that have stopped, enjoined, actions that a president has taken that appear to violate the Constitution.
Well, Stephen, my question, if you could answer my question first,
in other words,
is Venezuela invading our country in a way that would apply this way?
So I'll answer yours and you'll answer mine. Under the terms of the statute, Tren de Aragua is an alien enemy force that has come here as detailed at length in the proclamation at the direction of the Venezuelan government.
Okay, now I know that one's full of crap. I checked this thing out. There is no evidence that the Venezuelan government sent their gang members over here. That's kind of in the same line as Trump was saying, they emptied out their insane asylums and their prisons and sent them all up here. Well, none of that stuff happened. That was just so much crap. Those people came here for whatever reason, but they were not sent by the Venezuelan government.
Read the statute, Alien Enemies Act, 1798. It says if a predatory incursion is perpetrated by a foreign government, so it lists three qualifying actions. It could be an act of war.
It does say in the very beginning there has to be a declared war against a nation or a state. That's what it says.
No, wrong. Look up the statute. It's on my account on social media.
That's actually where we
Everyone
found
can
it
go
earlier.
Yes, it says or.
Okay, I couldn't find his social media thing, so I'm going to show you the one from CNN that they put up there. And from what I can see, it doesn't say anything like that. That a bunch of people just come up there and they're like terrorists or something. All of a sudden they're sent by Venezuela to destroy our country or some silly thing. Okay, that's nuts.
A predatory incursion or an invasion. The statute delineates three criteria for triggering the Alien Enemies Act. One is an act of war, which, by the way, an invasion is an act of war, but put that aside. One is an invasion, which this is. One is a predatory incursion, which this is. So it actually meets all three statutory criteria.
Okay, yeah, I suppose if the army of Canada came down and invaded our country, we could eject those people. Not necessarily put them in a prison in a foreign country. I'm not sure about that, but he says they're foreign invaders, and he gave these three reasons that you could do this, none of which were actually part of this operation. Stephen Mills is a great one for obfuscating the facts. He usually, like I said, he talks real fast and he has all these opinions that, are supposed to be so advanced. But you're going to hear the real reason that he's doing this in this next clip.
How are you going to expel illegal alien invaders from our country who are raping little girls, who are murdering little girls, if each and every deportation has to be adjudicated in a district court judge?
And my answer is yes. We do that with all criminals. He's raping little girls or something like that, so we should be able to just do whatever we want with him without any adjudication. This is a basis of our law. Is it? Yes, you do. And when someone is here illegally and you want them out, we have a system for that. It's not very good. And in fact, it could have been a lot better if Biden's bill had passed to reform immigration, which would have made this much smoother. We got a lot more judges in there. And, you know, because remember, we said a long time ago we were going to accept immigrants that were fleeing for their lives. If we're going to do that, then we need to be able to adjudicate them to be sure that's what's happening. And that's how our laws work. It just gets crazy if you don't, because then you get somebody grabbing people off the street, throwing them in an airplane and sending them down to some prison in Central America, whether you have no idea whether they were some kind of bad guy or not. And remember, the illegal aliens that come in, that's an administrative action. That's not a criminal action. The courts have been backed up forever because nobody wants to put more courts in there to deal with this, because they want to be able to complain about it. You know, Republicans just want to complain about, oh, look, this is so horrible, all these people coming in, it's illegal. I don't think it's right either. But we did have, you know, an immigration law that needs to be updated, and we could deal with that. But the way these guys are doing this is really bad. I know I've said that before. Anyone could be pulled off the street, and I can guarantee you a number of those people that were just thrown down in that prison and thrown away the key were totally innocent. And we've always said we do our best to keep the innocent free. And we're not doing it. We're just deciding immigrant bad. And we can do anything we want with them because they're not human. That's what we've decided. They're just not human. And Miller is probably the worst of the bunch. He talks real fast. You watch this guy talk. He's talking a bunch of crap. It's not even true. None of that stuff's true. But he says the president can do anything he wants. You know, I did a video about him. The president has all the powers in the world and nobody can have anything else. That's not the way we've worked. That's the way we're working now, guys. Okay, I'll cut it off here. That's it on this one.